Infantry Weapon Postcards number 44, Soviet and Russian AKs of the Balkan conflicts. Today is the fourth installment of my series on AKs of the Balkan conflicts, and today we're going to check out Soviet and Russian AKs. Again, not a complete list, but some representative examples with known provenance from the region. Today, we're going to explore Soviet AKMs, AKS74s, AKS74Us, and Russian AKS74Us. Almost all of these images are rehashes from videos that were specifically about different Soviet AK variants, so we're going to breeze over them. If you want to go down that rabbit hole, I will put links to a couple of them in the end screen. First, a Soviet AKS from 1954. While the Soviets did call early rifles AK-47s, the name was dropped by 1951 to simply AK or AKS. This milled AKS was a rarity. I was lucky enough to have a contact inside the importer, Trans Arms of Germany, who would sell me cherry-picked pieces for a slight premium by weaponizing his employee discount. Though refurbished, this nice Type 2 rifle was among them. Next, the standard AKM. I haven't seen an AKMS from that region, so if they were bought, it was in very small numbers. There have been a couple batches of AKMs. This first is from 20 years ago and came direct from the Balkans. As mentioned, we are just scratching the surface as we dug deeper in an earlier video. If you want to keep your dog company, or you have nothing better to do, it's about half an hour that you'll never get back. This first batch had every year of production from both AKM factories, Ishmash and Tula, with condition running from like new, never issued, to refurbished rifles that were rode hard and put away wet, just like your mom. The second batch was released in 2020. These rifles were repacked in Belarus during and after the Soviet Union. They were sold to a customer in the Balkans, but were intercepted by the Italians because of the arms embargo. In 2020, they were released for sale. As before, all years and both factories. Some new rifles, others that have been refurbished at some point in their life. Here are some shots of the rifles at the importer in Austria in 2020. The rifles were being pulled from the crates. The included bayonets were being stripped out for sale to a friend of a friend who was reselling them on eBay. I was lucky enough to tag along so they could photograph the rifles. Some of these ended up in the US as parts kits, others ended up around Europe in civilian hands. Next, we have some AKS74s. Like the DDR AKS74s in the last video, these rifles were sold to a Swiss dealer before being sold on to the German civilian market as deactivated collector's pieces. In comparison to the AKMs, they are very rare. Just like the AKMs, a rehash of photos, so we are just skimming over them. Besides the 1979, 1980, 1982, and 1989 rifles pictured here, I also had a 1988 rifle come through my hands as well, but it was in parts and not suitable for photographs. A spiky purple thing? Your mom probably has one in her drawer, just don't touch it. Last, the AKS74U. I haven't seen any photos of these in use, but I know that they were imported from there. One importer had brand new guns, with almost all of them being dated 1990. Another importer had used rifles that were mostly 1992s. The Soviet Union, of course, ended on 25th of December 1991, so these new 1992 rifles are now Russian made. We did an AKS74U video earlier, so again, a rehash. Till next time, dudes. As promised, some videos on Russian AKs. And join us next week for the exciting conclusion where we actually finally delve into Yugoslavian AKs.